Buildy bridge. That's what we're doing today. Lordy. Good morning. Yeah, coming to you from about 4 or 5 in the morning here. Just got out of bed, got me some coffee, coherent enough to kind of speak. Oh my goodness. Things. I got too many things in my head. I am sincerely thinking I need a second clipboard. One for tech stuff I want to look at and one for projects I want to do, because I got way too much going on. Too much for one person, which is why I'd love to get a server so I could get some helpers, some peons, some worshipers, whatever you want to call them. Anyhow, what is the red stuff coming out of my face? Easily distracted. Squirrel. Yep, just like that movie. But to get serious, folks, I need to get a little direction going here because I got way too much stuff. And one of the things I think I need to work on is a mapping system. So let's look at what Atlas, that's the word we want. We need an empty antique atlas, which is a book and a compass. That shouldn't be that hard. I could have probably had that by now since I finally got sugar cane. So we're going to want to make 2. Well, we're going to need to make 1 to start with, and I need to make a copy, or be able to make a copy eventually. So let's just, I brought them all out. Let's just go with 1 to start with, and we lag. All right. Oh, I need the paper first. Yeah, not quite awake yet, apparently. Not as much as I thought I was. All right. There's the book. And I need a couple pieces of iron. Need more iron. Always need more iron. Never seem to get away from needing more iron. All right. And yay. There we go. So this is my world. Yay. We can add markers, we can delete markers, we can hide markers, we can export an image, although I've never really had a lot of success with that. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. And I'm going to have to read up on how to make a copy, because it's very important that you have a copy in storage and or do an updated copy over time, because if you lose this, you lose everything. It only records up to what you just recorded, and it does not store over, if I remember right, into the new copy. So we need to tuck this guy away. I am seriously running out of places to put stuff. I think we're going to just put you up there, move you over, move you over, move you over. That gives me a little room. Let's get rid of the tomatoes since I already ate them. Move these down. That's a little better. Not great. Looks like I need another axe or 2. Another axe. 1. Doing 1. Not doing dozens anymore. 1 to use, 1 replacement, unless I stick it in a pack. Or in a bag, whatever. Using backpacks in another game I'm playing. There we go. All right, so anyhow, that's done. We can chalk up another accomplishment, and it is noon. Like I say, seems to be we're heading into winter again. So out there is where I want to set up the quarries so they don't make an eyesore out of the land. It's going to require a bit of improvements. I'm going to need to level this out. I'm going to need to level or bridge that out, and yada 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 down until I can get to that. And it looks like there's an asteroid down there. So I guess first thing we need to do is build bridges. I also want to do a skyway here at some point, but I think for right now we're gonna level this out a little and build a couple bridges. So that will let me use up some of that gravel we got building up. Come on. Get some gravel, get some cobble. Actually, I wonder if I can carve the cobble. Let's see. We just have one cobble to put in there. See what happens. It may, oh, it says it's doing something. Polished cobble block. Interesting. Do the big honkin' brick style. Let's try that. Does not. Oh, that's because that's gravel. Football. Make sure I got cobblestone. There we go. All right, I'm going to go do some gravel work, and then we will see about maybe tooling up a bunch of this cobblestone that's a little nicer looking. It's getting late in the day anyhow. Project for summer, definitely. I think I'm also going to do something I used to do, which is set up a little comment card, things I can talk about with you, days, events, stuff like that, so that you don't have so much dead space watching me drop gravel. Yeah, let's go get a nap. Oh, it feels so good. Good coffee. Don't forget, I love coffee. If you're watching the video, there's a picture of my face in the lower right corner. You click on that and, oh, there we go. It will let you subscribe lickety-split if you haven't done so. That way you never miss out on the scintillating conversations we have here. You're like, why are you going below the surface? That way, if I want, I can put soil over the top of this and have another space to put in, say, a garden or trees, or I could just put the cobble blocks over it and make it look like it's paved. There's a lot of possibilities, so I'm not closing any doors yet. Nothing worse than putting something down and digging it back out. So we're in a new year with a new president, so that's going to date this somewhat depending on when I get it put up. Pretty much, I don't really care as long as we don't go into a war. We don't have a bad economy. My stocks do well. My crypto does well. People watch my videos. I'm not super picky about politics and all that, other than the fact I don't think we get good choices. I would, if I could change anything, and you've heard this before probably, I would like better choices. But I am very much relieved that we have the president we do right now. Not saying that he's that much better, but he's just that little bit better. Not certain about what he's doing. I try to avoid the news now that he's been elected unless I hear something good. I'll follow up. It's hard to talk about political things without getting political. That's why I try not to do them. But I think I'm in the same boat that a lot of Americans are. Just try and ride the storm out every time we hire someone new. And it's not a good place to be. And I blame most of the world problems on Nixon. At least the world problems that happen in America, if that makes sense. Yeah, know your history, and that's another thing. We don't know our history anymore because they keep retconning it on us. Yeah, let that sink in. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. I've looked at some of the history books they give these kids nowadays. It's like, I lived through some of this. That is not at all how that happened. And I think it's funny how people start rediscovering things that, oh, wow, but the textbook says, yeah, well, go back. It's not a textbook. It's a, first off, it's not a textbook. It is a text document. It's way easier to change text documents than it is textbooks. I'll always try and get it on paper. Just saying. That said, I can read faster on an e-reader than I can on paper. Really? You're going to freeze on me? I heard something the other day about the fact that e-readers have plateaued and book sales, physical book sales, have increased. So I can kind of see it, but I kind of find that hard to believe as well. There we go. I think that's pretty much everything for this part. Yep. So, what do you think? Should we use gravel? Should we use dirt? Should we use something else? Probably should dig some of this gravel out. Probably should. Actually, let's go and do this real quick. Bring this up to... Oh, look at that. I am out of gravel, so I guess I know what we're doing. Ain't you glad you tuned in? Get to watch me dig gravel, drop gravel, dig gravel, drop, dip. Yeah. English, not my first language. Actually, it is. American's my first language. To be technical, it's not really English. The English people speak much better diction than us Americans do. I mentioned that I'm English. I am. There's just a tiny bit, though. Mostly German. Explains a lot, doesn't it? Stubborn is where I get from the German, and then crazy what I get from the English. Crazy stubborn. Well, we did a little bit more. Let's go get some more gravel, and I think we're going to put down some soil. And we'll use our other stone materials for building. Because we can always plant flowers and trees and make paths and do all that good stuff with... Why am I going this way? I'm telling you, not enough coffee. I need y'all to send me more coffee at this rate. There, now I can get more gravel. It's getting on towards evening, too. Let me out. The days go so fast. Just gotta make sure we don't get stuck out here. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. So if you're getting the idea here, I'm making I wouldn't call it an isthmus, but I'm making a little bit wider highway through here. So I'm not as restricted on where I can move. Also means I don't have to deal with this ice when I get done here. There we go. Now look at that. I actually got that down before it got dark. Now, if I want to do this right, what I will do is I will drop another layer of gravel down there as I, oh really, as I get it. Till it's getting nighttime, we're getting ice faster. So that I have a ledge that I can get up on in case I fall in there. Okay, that's where the edge is at. Well, I should probably skedaddle. Yeah, it was a nice little chunk. So if you tune in, even periodically, you should notice changes in the background. I think that's probably more interesting, more important than just seeing what I'm featuring. Didn't even get a chance to get a swig. I have to reheat my coffee here shortly. Amazing how fast these things cool off. I got to get an insulated cup. Actually, I got to use an insulated cup. I got one. I just ain't used it. Yep, so I think once I get this leveled, I will drop more gravel down in there. Grade this up so it's not such a stark edge. So I could kind of do that now. Let's dig these back out. See, there's nothing worse than placing something and deciding you don't like it. So why aren't you using a builder's wand? I hear some of you thinking that. You guys think really loud, by the way. I am not using a builder's wand at the moment because it takes too much iron or diamonds or, yeah. So for right now, we're still hand placing. Yeah. So what would you all like to talk about? Give me some suggestions. Remember, I do take a look at your comments, and those of you who contact me directly, it is appreciated. But if you leave a comment, that means everybody can participate. Oh, Jesus. Those things will get close, which is why I don't like going near the water. That is a shark. They are mean. They will kill you in a heartbeat. I shot one with an arrow. It jumped out of the water and dragged me back in. A little too close. If I were to hit that with an arrow from here, it might be able to drag me in. Don't know 3 back. I know 2 back it definitely can. Because it'll beach itself and try and drag you back into the water. don't have a lot of nasties in this, but the sharks came with one of the critter packs. Didn't realize how malevolent they were going to be. So this is going to be step one of getting over to the area where I want to put the quarry in. Get this built up. I got to knock the hill down and knock that down a little more, I think, and then build up or bridge between these land masses. Not certain if I'm going to use a bridge or if I'm going to use land bridge. If I use a bridge, it would probably be prettier. But land bridge would probably be more expedient at this point in the game. And if I just go and build the land bridge and then do the... I saw you. And then do... If I build the land bridge, I do the quarry work, there's no point of a bridge then, because I'll abandon that area. I won't be going back out there again. Won't be a point as far as I can foresee at this point. Get the point? Yeah, dad jokes. Well, had a report on Echo, the kitten. Looks like he will be on insulin. Maybe for the rest of his life. We don't know yet. But he's responding to the insulin and the fluids and everything. And hopefully he will be back with us tonight. Lord knows his brother is driving us crazy. Thing you got to realize about Rory, he's not the brightest bulb. And... oh, I'm out of... okay, so let's go get a little more of this dug out. Get these. There we go. And get some more dirt, because I got dirt. I got dirt out the Yingzhou. See, and I can eventually do something about making these walls more consistent. Had to do it that way. It used up every single block I had. Had to do it that way. All right. Put the gravel away. Let's get some dirt. Let's change out the cobblestone. Well, that's looking nice. May be able to use this for piles and such for when I do the Skyway, among other things. Let's put that up here. So that's... and let's get one so we can see just how she looks. All right. That's kind of nice. It's lighter, brighter. I like it. And it's still got the cobbly look. It looks like it's almost time to go back to bed again. Okay, that is dirt. Oh, I feel the neuropathy in my fingers. So let's build this down. So we are going to want this to be our live edge. So we're going to put one more layer of gravel down in that area. Nanny nanny boo boo. There's one of them giant eels. We got lampreys and giant eels. Morays they must be. I watch them tear up the squids out there. Them and the sharks, they like squid. Which is probably why I had no squids for the longest time. It wasn't that they weren't spawning, it's just they were getting et as fast as they got spawned. Plus there's other things out there. There's nautilus, there's jellyfish, and most of it will be doing something mean to you. Try and stay out of the water. At least we don't have any giant terror birds in this. Oh, I wish I were getting diamonds faster so I could get a builder's wand. I don't think I'll get copyright claimed on that one. Nobody in their right mind would. Well, there's the kicker, right mind. See, this is why I need conversation cards. I just blather. Yeah, notice I've been slowly taking this down as well. We got stars. So if you see stars, that generally means you can jump into bed. If you see stars and you can't jump into bed, you got a bigger problem. Really, I'm not getting enough coffee. Y'all reset so damn fast. So darn fast now. Well, we're not kid-friendly. So damn fast. At least I don't say what all the other young kids say. It really annoys me. The amount of profanity used today. And it's not, doesn't do anything. Oh, it's for emphasis. No, it's not. You take the word out, it does nothing to change what you say without it. You can have the same amount of emphasis without using that word, and I don't have to listen to you for about 75% of what you say then. This is the way we fill the land, we fill the land, we fill the land. All right. It's early in the morning. Oh, I probably can't sing that. Damn, I'll have to cut that out now. I like to sing, unfortunately. More unfortunately for you, because you got to listen to it. Yeah. No, unfortunately, I'll get copyright claimed. Because people are just crazy merciless. Oh my God. You promoted my thing. That makes sense. You get free advertising. But I get it. I have had a couple of things stolen from me, and it's not fun, so. And then I got to the point where it's like, you don't listen to the desist orders anyway. If you just credit me, I probably wouldn't be. Or if you just asked, I probably would say okay, but people don't ask. They just steal because they're too damn lazy. I try not to steal. I really do. But every now and then, I feel like singing, and unfortunately, I'm not good at writing. Yeah, my songs go downhill very fast. Why aren't you growing, cactus? Actually, let's go do this first. Oh, that's gravel. Okay. It's like, why didn't that alternate in? That should have alternated. No, it's gravel. I heard, oh, they're out there. Sharks. Well, this is about as exciting as things get around here. So I think since I got nothing else to say, and I've just been rambling, we will probably depart. I'll try and let you know later today what's going on with Echo for anybody who's interested. Not my first diabetic cat. The last one didn't end well. He was going, it's just like this guy. He was going along great right up until he wasn't. And that's how cats tend to go. They're either there and doing well, or they're dead before you know much of what to do. They go fast once they decide to go. It's unlike dogs, which seem to linger forever. All right, so that looks better. Let's take a step back. There we go. That looks a tad artificial. I'll probably do a little smoothing around on the edges and such, but not bad for a start. If you're looking for perfection, you ain't going to find it here. Perfection takes too much work, too much time, too much trouble. And quite honestly, perfection is stilted. Like, this is a perfectly smooth causeway with nice straight edges, and it just looks wrong. So we'll try and naturalize that up a little bit on the curvature. But it's a start. And I will probably do something similar to bridge these other gaps. I'm going to have to be real careful going from that little pile of dirt over there to the island, because, yeah, predators. And like I say, they like to jump out and get you. So that's all I got for now. I got to head in for work in a while anyhow. Got truck today. Gotta ride her down to boys. Whack, whack. That's for you, Bobby. Whack. Do your job. Whack. All right. Anyhow, I got some projects with Bobby coming up. We'll see what all happens. Keep you informed. Later. I'm back. That may or may not make sense, because I may or may not keep the video I made this morning. I thought I was awake, but it doesn't look too much like I was. So, note to self, don't record till you've had 2 cups of coffee. That said, I have been out to Tin Mine 2 looking at the quarry. It finished, and I brought back our goodies. So, let's take a look-see. So we have got a little silver, a little lead, a little gold, a little more silver, some copper, some little more copper, another emerald. So yeah, we're getting about 1 emerald per bore. A little taconite, a little tin, a fair chunk of coal actually. some Certus. These two, of course, you're always going to get. Magnetite, we did pretty good this time. We got 14, 2 siderite, and then we got some colorful stones and some more sulfur. So we're going to start processing this. I especially need the iron. So let's see, let's grab all the stuff that can go in here. Copper, copper. Nope. Tin, yes. Nope. 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 So that looks like everything that can go in there. Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. If you put something in here that can't melt, and this is why I turned this back off. We're going to turn it on real quick, run some out. Well, I guess it's full. But if you, I accidentally tossed some cobblestone in here, and it can't process cobblestone, but what it will do is keep trying, so it will burn through all of your ember crystals. Not a good thing. We have slowly been collecting more brick. I have a feeling this is going to be our base build unit for various and sundry things like structural columns, things like that, where we're building like trestles and railroad and yeah, or railcar. I don't know what is in my throat today, but I am coughing. So let's get the gem materials out. Do you have any obsidian? There it is. And we'll take the sulfur. Get rid of those. That's a fair chunk of sulfur. All right. Don't have any experience to put in. Let's go and drop our, let's get our iron minerals. That should be everything. Well, that's right, I found a bunch of goethite out there too. So what do we have left? We got pretties. Oh, and we got coal. Let's get our coal dropped off. Enough anthracite. I could actually start burning that. If I had to. I don't have to yet, so. What are we getting? We got a bunch of green jasper. We, of course, got sunstone. In fact, I should probably make some more of those, because this is kind of time consuming. Just get that going. And the reason I went over to Tin Mine was to get any gravel that was there, because I am running gravel short at the moment. And that would be because of the build that I'm working on. So let's show you how things have progressed here. You may have noticed I took out a chunk here, and we built this up and turned it into a causeway. Interestingly, I thought it was interesting anyhow. Come on, show me the map. This did not update, and I'm not certain why. I thought that should update, but it still looks like a bunch of little islands there. I don't know, may have to break the book and make a new one, or copy to a new one. We'll see what happens. But I had thought that would update when I filled this in. Oh, it's getting on towards the evening. Now I can run up here and I can show you the rest. Let's put this away. Now I haven't picked up the quarry yet because I haven't finished emptying the chest. I still got normal dimensional stone, granite, stuff like that. Got this leveled out a little bit. It's easier to walk through. And terrace this a little so it's a little easier to get down here. May need to put in some slabs. We'll see. Got this little island leveled out, filled in, evened up. And this is where we're at. Now, I want to tell you something. You see this ice? We're heading into spring, so all the ice is melting. This ice makes it really easy to extend this land bridge. Unfortunately, I got this far a little too late. So, yep, got to run back. Don't have any torches here yet to speak of. And going to extend this out to that island and then poke around the island, and if everything is good, I'll move the quarry out there. We'll build a couple more Stirling engines, and we'll do a full-size oceanic quarry. See what we can snag. We are looking for something in particular, and if I snag it, I will make sure you know about it because it will change everything. We are going to go hunting for the rarest drop in the game, and I saw one when I was down underground, but didn't use the right implement to harvest it. So we're going to go to our next best thing, which is to use the quarry in an ocean setting. Of course, if we were up on the moon, we could find a lot of this stuff, but we're not there, so yeah. I take a quick nap and stretch. Coffee. I need a coffee machine. Yeah, well, ain't happening. That's all I got for the moment. There's other things probably going on I forgot to tell you about, but thought you might want to see the progress. It does take a little while, and we are operating on 2 or 3 projects at the moment, so that's our update for this evening. Oh, Kitten. Kitten came home. Echo came home. He's looking not terrible. He's not happy. He's on food restriction and insulin now. So don't know if this juvenile diabetes he's got is going to go away or if it's going to be with him for the rest of his life. Right now it's looking probably like rest of his life. That means 2 shots a day and limitations on access to food, which means the other cats get to suffer along with him because I can't have them free feeding and have him get into it because it wouldn't be good. But that's where we're at. Kitten's looking good. Yay, Echo. Woo! Thanks for all the support on Echo. Bye. Taking my life in my hands. Well, why do I say that? Because yesterday when I recorded in the morning without quite enough coffee, it didn't go so well. So, I'm still here. It's morning again. Not so much coffee in me. We're going to try it though. So, let's take a look, see. You can see the progress. Again, a little more than yesterday. We did have to go through another blood moon night. They seem to be coming a lot faster. A lot closer together. Don't know what's going on. Ooh, deja vu all over again. I thought I said something like that here at some point. You ever have that happen where you feel like, hey, I've done this before? And it wasn't that I was saying it, it's just that all of a sudden it's like, ooh, that view from that angle, from at that time, the sun, yeah. Maybe I did, who knows. So this guy I was not able to complete the way I wanted to because, believe it or not, I didn't have enough gravel. All that gravel I had stored up went basically to running this baseline down to the island. And now that we're in late spring, early summer-ish, and we still got snow over there. Of course, that might be colder. But over here, no snow. So I'd say, yeah, late spring, early summer. This has gotten quite dicey finishing this causeway out because the last several times I've been here, this has been full of sharks. And it keeps getting smaller. The last thing I want to do is get eaten by a bunch of sharks. Oh, this is the other thing. I thought this would be easier because I was going to use the builder's wand. Turns out you can't build underwater. It does not detect any block below the surface line. How's that for a kick in the head? So I have to squat and build like I'm on the edge of a cliff. And I'll tell you, my ring finger is getting really tired. Plus it takes a fair amount of concentration because you can't really see the hit boxes underwater. There we go, got one row. I figure this will take 2 more Minecraft days to get this part done. I mean, if I don't stop putting blocks too high. So this is going to launch us into one of our first topics on my topics card here. In later versions of Minecraft, or at least, I guess I double blocked it, at least in a particular game, and I don't know if it was part of this particular game, it seems like it was 1.19, you could actually easily place a block under a block. There was a hitbox indicator to tell you that you could slide that puppy, like right here, if I had the link, say I dropped down here into the water, and I could reach under. See, I'm clicking, it's not letting me do it. In that other game, there would be an indicator there, and it would let me place a block under a previous block. That was useful. If that could be incorporated into 1.12.2, that would be useful. And again, why don't we put it in 1.12.2 first? That is the ultimate Minecraft, in my humble opinion, which ain't very humble. That said, news came out this week that Notch may be working on a newer version of Minecraft, a better written version of Minecraft. Now, how this is going to go over with Microsoft and his deal there, I don't know. I have a sensation running down my spine that if this is true, all the folks that have been living and working and building in Minecraft 1.12.2 are going to jump ship from Minecraft Java and go to Minecraft 2 Java. And you're going to see the world of Minecraft blossom once more. That is my greatest hope, anyhow. If they can get Minecraft to where it is an efficient computing model using multi-threading, better language, not Java, possibly C, means heavy lifting, redoing things like Buildcraft and all that. But just consider what you could do if this were multi-threaded and not written in Java. And I don't know why Java is considered a clunky language, but it is. Why did they write it that way? What was it originally for? I don't know. Could be because of certain functionality like the ability to write mods or add mods. I don't know. There's so much I don't know because I am old and I've learned that I don't know everything. Oops. Be easier if I could see where the hitboxes were. And yeah, we got a little time left. Let's see if we can finish this one out. I'll concentrate for a minute, y'all, so I can get this done. It's amazing how much concentration this is requiring. We got quite a bit done. We did pretty good this day. Look at all this I'm filling in. This is my indicator for what I get done in a day. That there's pretty good. We have a good shot at being able to reach the island in the next batch tomorrow. To Minecraft tomorrow. I probably should start putting... No, I got to put dirt down yet. We'll wait on the torches. In any case, ways, if Notch could pull that off and get through the legal battles and everything, we are going to see a Minecraft renaissance, I think. Now, it won't be exactly 1.12.2 or Minecraft the way we think it is, of course. There's no unwinding the clock, unfortunately. But if it was close, and if we could get the developers on board for the mods, that would be so awesome. Especially if it basically, we kept it fairly stable as to what was available and did everything that was an addition as mods. You keep all the mods in one place. They all more or less work together. That would be another stipulation. And they all work on the same basically frame. And if you get all the mod developers together that put all the other things together, so we get everything that we had in our pockets for 1.12.2, oh, what an amazing world it would be. Just saying. Leave those poor guys on consoles in the dust. They wouldn't know what hit them. So here's the thing. Why do I get down on consoles? Because it's a single-use product, basically. Not only that, it's expensive. It's actually more expensive to get a console these days, it seems, than it is to get a computer that could run Java. A computer that you could do other things like image processing, programming, movies, writing books, doing artwork. So many things you can do with a computer you cannot do with a console. But I'm not interested in any of that stuff. Well, you may not be now, but that could change. It could change at the drop of a hat. With a computer, if you want to change what you're doing, you just change what you're doing. With a console, you got to buy more stuff again. Okay? So one of the reasons why, and this is not necessarily a plug, but I like Macintosh. That said, I don't like Macintosh as much as I once did because it's becoming more and more PC-like. Okay. Macintosh, easy, just work. It does what you think it will do for the most part. It's becoming more like PCs and the iPhone. I hate the iPhone stuff. Oh my God, iPhone is crazy stupid. But people are moving to iPhone type things on computers. I mean, even my banking website is basically an iPhone app. And remember, iPhone app rhymes with crap. And that's what apps are. Apps are crap. Write a program. A real program, not an app. Now you get me digressing. I should sleep and we should finish this project. Or at least this phase of the project. It's never finished. Y'all ought to know that by now. It never finished. What other goodies do we have to talk about? Oh, I know what. I had a bald eagle in my backyard last week. Isn't that cool? I didn't even know they were in this area of the country. Turns out, we have had several sightings over the years in my county. No, I'm not going to tell you what county it is. Suffice it to say, bald eagle was out flying up in between the tree and the chicken hutch thing, the chicken coop. Me and the dog scared it away. And I searched and searched and searched to see what other birds of prey in our area looked like bald eagles. And you know what? There ain't much of nothing. There's a bird that lives down south that doesn't look anything like a bald eagle, except it's got some white on its head. That was about as close as it was. And then I started researching whether or not they were actually in my area of the country, which they were, and were they in my area of the state I'm in, which turns out they were. And were they in my county? And turns out, yes, not only are there sightings, there are nests. So, bald eagle, my first. Damn it, I hate when that happens. At least there wasn't a shark in the area. Told you I got ate by a shark the other day. Wasn't fun. So I have not seen the eagle since, and it wasn't as big as I thought it was, so it must have been a male. Birds of prey, the females are generally much larger than the males. I guess because they're full of eggs, I don't know. But this was and he was awkward and startled, and yeah, not what I expected from an eagle at all. The hawks, oh my God, the red-tailed hawks we got around here now, they're dangerous to my chickens. I have had several chickens just, you hear squawk, and it's gone. All that's left is a few feathers floating in the air. That's how good the red tails are. And they're strong. I had one fly off with a big fat hen. She wasn't a lightweight and just picked it up like it was feather or a piece of paper. Hold it away. Never saw that chicken again. Speaking of chickens, my chickens are kind of odd. They either give me eggs, or they give me nothing. I went through about 6 months of a dry spell. All of a sudden it's raining eggs, and then they cut back off again. I don't understand my chickens. Growing up with chickens, I don't remember them going through phases like this. It was always relatively steady until they got too old to lay, and then of course we ate them. Yeah, I know that's horrifying to you young people. Chicken come from a grocery store. No, it doesn't. Chicken come from a stump with a pair of nails and an axe. Brutal, I know. That's what life was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. The farther back you got, the worse it got. We're not eating horses anymore. Eating horses? It's illegal to eat horses. Yes, I know it's illegal to eat horses in the United States now, which is I don't know why they did that. It used to be we had Horses, horses everywhere. We didn't have cars. Horses did all the work. And after a very long, pampered life, well, comparatively, we then utilized the entire body of the horse for various and sundry. It wasn't just turning the hooves into glue. We ate the meat. And from a French person I have discussed, where in France you can still eat horse meat, apparently you want to get an old horse, which worked out well because they put in a life of work. The meat was tender, whereas the young ones, it's tough and stringy, and you don't want a young horse. And here's the thing, 100 years ago, we didn't eat beef. We didn't eat chicken. Those were for rich people. We ate horse meat and whatever we could catch, basically. Oh, there we go. Haha, caught you. And you went to a butcher's shop where it was generally fresh killed, not stuck in a freezer for a year or two. So you knew what you were getting, more or less. Well, more or less. Safety and health standards, we just plain weren't that aware of back then. Now I think we've gone, I ran out of rock. Now I think we've gone overboard the other direction. There are too many restrictions on what we eat. If we want to eat it, let us eat it, as long as it's relatively safe. Eggs, it's getting more difficult every year for me to sell or give away my excess eggs. I'm going to wind up just feeding them back to the chickens, because you're looking at all kinds of permitting, reporting. You open yourself to lawsuits. You're required to have insurance. You could lose your house if someone just decided, oh, my tummy hurts, so it must have been the eggs. People are not responsible for their actions anymore. It used to be if you ate an egg and you got sick, well, that was on you because you're a dumbass. You can't be a dumbass anymore. Nobody's a dumbass. It's always someone else's fault. Sorry if you don't like the word dumbass, YouTube, but it's true. This is why we're not a kid-friendly channel. You can't handle dumbass, you got bigger problems. But yeah, it's just like they want to get rid of gardens. Oh, you can't save your seeds. That's going to introduce a terrorist threat. What? What a crock of horse hooey. You can obviously tell who never had a garden in their lives. You know that you were required basically to have a garden World War II. Because we did not have enough food. We couldn't produce enough food on a national level to feed everybody. So everybody was encouraged to have their own, what they called a victory garden. Grow a garden for victory. Win the war. And people found out that backyard gardening was actually relaxing and fun, and the food tasted pretty damn good. And I'll tell you right now, I will take fresh picked green beans out of the garden as opposed to ones that are sitting on a shelf in a grocery store any day. There is just nothing better. A little bit of garlic and some spices and a little red wine. Ooh, a touch of ham or something in there. Yummy. Plus, I have the benefit of being able to have done it myself. I did that. There's satisfaction there that makes it taste better. Now your government does not want you to have the independence of being able to feed yourself. We do not want to have regions of this country where people can sustain themselves because they grow a little this, little that, little this, little that, and they trade it back and forth. Sell it back and forth. I don't want that. That's a loss of control. And you say, oh, you're into this conspiracy theory thing again. It's not a theory if that's what's actually happening. If you plant a garden and someone says, oh, you're helping terrorists, that ain't a conspiracy. That's a bunch of yahoos trying to control you. See, I'm getting on my soapbox again. I really need to be building. Oh, damn it. Why do I always do that? Let's see. Nope. Sometimes I can hit it, sometimes I can't. There goes another block. Damn it. Don't make me jump in there. Don't make me jump in there. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not playing that game. Anybody think it's getting dark? As long as we're down here doing this. Yep, there you go, Bubblehead. Since I already took my life in my hands, might as well do it the right way. Yeah, it is getting dark. Talk too much. So garden. Been working on my garden. I got to tell you, the state I'm living in now is one of the most difficult states I've ever had to try and grow plants. The state I was in previously, one of the easiest. You stuck a seed in the ground, you got a ginormous plant with lots of stuff on it. I had gladiola corms. You know, a corm is not a bulb. They always call them gladiola bulbs. They're actually corms. Yeah, we're not going to get into the difference. Suffice it to say, they're normally about the size of a large golf ball. The soil I had in my last place was so rich. My gladiolas came out the size of softballs when I went to pull them in the fall. They're not softballs, hard balls, baseballs. So about 3-4 inches across instead of, like 1.5. Huge, just huge. That's how rich the soil was. And you didn't do anything. Stuck a seed in the ground, you got a garden. Poof. Kind of like Minecraft. Down here, stick a seed in the ground, everything is out to kill that seed and that plant. Everything. It is so hard to grow anything down here. Between the temperatures and the rain or lack thereof, and yeah, it's rough. That said, I'm trying to play towards my strengths. I was doing very well for years growing garlic. And then it seems about every 4 to 6 years, all the garlic more or less dies off. And I don't know what it is. I know I can only grow certain varieties because there's a nematode in the soil that likes the German ones that I grew up with in New York. They just eat that German garlic up like it's nobody's business. Nothing up north touches it. You can set it in the ground, let it grow wild for years, and it will just keep multiplying. Here, can't keep it alive. It's all full of nematodes. What's a nematode? That's like a micro worm. Not fun. But yeah, it seems like they grow for a number of years, and then all of a sudden they hit a year where they fail to grow. And it just is mystifying. Another thing that has been doing, or has done well in the past, has been both turmeric, and to a lesser extent, actually to a non-extent. I've never really had a successful season of ginger, but it should grow down here. Now stop that. What I did learn about ginger is it's an understory plant. There's a lot of things I've tried down here thought would grow well because we have good sun. They don't. They die because they're what are considered understory plants. They require partial shade. Need to grow in an area where you have sparsely planted trees. I did it again. So my pawpaws, burned those up for years. Found out they're an understory plant. I tried doing figs. Found out they're an understory plant. You got to have other vegetation around them to provide sun protection. So I tried a planter and I put my turmeric and my garlic in, or not my garlic, my turmeric and my ginger in there, and The ginger did okay. The turmeric just, it got plant top, but it didn't grow any of the rhizomes. So I moved the turmeric out into bags this year along the side of the house where it gets a lot more sun, but I still have the ability to control. I did that again, didn't I? I did it, I bet you. Yep, I did it. So we're going to see if with the ginger in the shaded area, semi-shade area, and the turmeric, which did grow in the garden a couple of years. Last few years I hadn't done well in the garden because of the intense heat and the drought. And these plants are picky about their water consistency. So it didn't do well out in the garden. I put it in the other thing. It didn't do well there. We're trying bags this year. Now, oddly, some of my black turmeric survived, whereas my regular orange or yellow turmeric did not. So it seems to be a tad hardier in some ways. It's all about finding the right plant and then getting it used to living in this area, changing the local genetic structure enough that it adapts. And you can do this, but the thing is the plant has to live. If the plant doesn't live, it won't hold those adaptations into the next season. And hopefully the next season's like the one you just did, so what it adapted to still works. That's where you got to get a few generations or a few seasons in without things dying. And it can be done. Now, that's within certain parameters. Something that likes cool weather from up north, that's why most of your classic vegetables that people eat don't grow well down in this location of the south. Too hot, too cold, too wet. Actually, it's not even too cold. It's too big a swing in temperature. So this year we went from 22 degrees to 90 degrees within about a day and a half. That confuses the hell out of plants. That kills plants. They can't take that wide a shift in temperature on a daily basis. So, thump, 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 the neighbor's doing something again. That noisy ass neighbors. It was nice when I didn't have neighbors. I moved out into the county to get away from people, and they followed me. One of the things my dad was correct about, if you can see your neighbors, they are too close. Problem is, people won't stop breeding, and companies won't stop buying up the property. So you don't really have any place to put the people you're breeding. Of course, city people I don't have a lot of use for anyway. If they want to live in a city, build a great big building about 300 stories high and stash them all in there. You do not have to each have your own little house and chunk of dirt, because you don't do nothing with it except poison it and kill it anyway. Mow it to hell, kill all the habitat, drive off all the animals. Y'all dumb. Can't stand city people. Oh, but cities generate so much stuff. There's so many things you could. Yeah, well, there might be a few things for cities, but mostly I find cities breed stupid. Sorry about the harsh facts, but cities breed stupid. Go away, leave me alone. I could be a hermit. Wife was a city person. After many years, she's decided city people are stupid. She don't want nothing to do with them either. First off, they don't act like human beings. They don't care. There's an accident by the side of the road. Do they stop? Do they let emergency vehicles through? No. They let them people die. It's like, what is wrong with you? I was driving through one of the local cities, middle of a rainstorm, people sliding off the road because they don't know how to drive in weather. Another thing about city people, they want everything cushy and done for them. Hate to see them if they actually had any inclement weather they had to deal with. Looky, yay, it's done, it's done. At least this part. Now we're going to put dirt over all of this. So let's run back. It's getting late. We'll change out what we got for materials and start. I should be able to use the builder's wand now. Put down some dirt. Anyhow, back to city people. Anyhow, driving along the road, middle of a storm, cars are sliding off the road, catching on fire, people are dying, yada, 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 bumper-to-bumper traffic because you can't see, the weather's so bad. Emergency vehicles are trying to get to the dying people. You think anybody yields and lets the emergency vehicles through? Not a single damn one. What is wrong with city people? I hate cities. Won't get me anything that's got more than 5,000 people. Too big. Too big. Where I come from, we still have what are called hamlets, which are little crossings along the roads that have, you know, a tiny, tiny, tiny community of 14, 20 people. 14 to 20 people. They probably all share one mailbox. But here's the thing. Living out in the country like that, people have to depend on one another. You don't let your neighbors die. You have bad weather, you have a storm, you have something like that. You help each other. It's the only way you survive. What did I just do? I just put gravel up in the dirt. I ain't paying no attention. All right. That's gravel. That's dirt. Okay. See what I did. I had got a lot of dirt. I got one cobblestone. Let's get a few more, just in case. Always want to have a stack of cobble. You can use it for anything. Can't sleep yet. All right, so it's a minute before I can sleep. Other thing about cities, no wildlife. No way to sustain yourself because nobody gets patio gardens. They're like, oh, I just put a plastic plant out there. You can't eat a plastic plant. Can't do it. Well, you could. They ain't gonna do no good to you though. Y'all got patios. Do a patio garden. They're easy. You get a thing of dirt and you put some pole beans in it. Pole beans are the secret to survival, one of them. As they grow, they climb. All you got to do is put up a little bit of chicken wire or a trellis or something, I don't care. Let them grow up on something. Then you start picking the beans. They get 6 beans, you pick 6 beans, you come back about a day and a half later, you got 18 beans. You pick the 18 beans, you come back a day and a half later and you got like 50. And it keeps doing this. And you just eat green beans all the time till you can't stand green beans anymore. And then you let them grow on the plant and turn into dry beans that you harvest in the fall so that you can eat dry beans, like baked beans, all through the winter. Yum! And then you have beans you can plant next year, which the government doesn't want you to do. No sustainability. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're going to come for you, just like they're going to come after my chickens. You know, the last 20 years, they have tried so many ways to keep people from raising chickens, and including the chicken breeders shipping chicken eggs across border, chicks across state borders, etc. They don't want you to do it. They don't want you. It's okay for these third world countries. We'll send them goats and cows and stuff, but you can't have chickens. You can't have a cow. You can't have, no, not going to do it. Can't do it. You might kill somebody with the diseases all those filthy animals have. You know who the filthy animals are? We are. We are filthy animals. And we disrupt all the others. So, yeah, I'm on a soapbox again, see? we're gonna, oh damn it, I can't say. We call this the soapbox. Let me get up on my soapbox. Oh, there I are. Now I will talk to you about stuff and you will listen because I'm on my soapbox. And it used to be you could do that. You could set up literally a box that used to contain soap, a little crate, and you could talk to the masses. You can't do that anymore. You need a permit. You got to be under control of the state so they can know what she's going to talk about. What the hell happened to our country? What the hell? All right, soapbox time is over. We're going to go sleep. That's the great thing about being a boomer. And remember, I'm just barely a boomer, thanks to all the changes, the retcons. Don't get me started. But that's the great thing about being a boomer is even if you're not right, you can talk like you're right. You have the confidence to talk like you're right. Because you weren't taught to be wishy-washy. One of the best pieces of advice I got from my aunt, she says, you got a mouth, use it. Which means don't just sit there and be a lump if you get in trouble or you need help or you have an opinion. Say something. And the thing is, I have learned how to be very annoying when I say something. It's one of my secret powers. You can ask Bobby. I'm a very annoying individual. I express my opinions. You may not like them, but they're there. Deal with it. This goes so much easier. I wish I had been able to do this with the cobblestone. I wish I had had enough. Ah! That's the one problem. That is the one. I thought I took all. This is the one problem with these builder's wands. You have to be very careful, which means you can't be distracted. Now I get to bust all this stuff. Jeez. I should have just left it all. Oh, it didn't go as far. It just looked like it. Oh no, it's like being in the old nether. Yeah, for those of you who have never experienced the old nether, yeah, you got in there and you could not tell. You could not see how you see shadows and perspective, and you can tell, oh, that's a long way away, and I'm standing next to that. No, it was all like you're standing next to it. It was like you're in a box of just this. You couldn't see holes, you couldn't see hills, you couldn't see nothing. So what you had to do in order to make the nether workable is you had to bring cobblestone with you. And you threw down cobblestone to break up the terrain. So you could see where the heck you were. You don't know how lucky you are to have the nether you have today. Imagine going for a walk and then running into a ghast and it's like, oh my god, I want to go back. What do you mean it's a wall now? I'm dead. Yeah, and you didn't have ways to find your graves either. And when you died, something was destroyed. Some rando item of yours was destroyed. That was always fun. Now, with modern conveniences, you can get your stuff back. We're going to need shovels. There we go. So here's the thing. Do we want to take this down? I think this is okay. I think we're going to take that down another level. Lots of places I can get dirt from. So as we live in this Dcraft world, see how I got that in there? As we live in this Dcraft world, because we're living here, we have an influence on it. Things are going to be changed as we take resources and do things in it, or attract creepers that leave craters everywhere and then fill them with cobble. It's going to change. So same way as in real life. So you want to learn about real life? Play Minecraft. As you live in an area, you cannot help but affect the area. Affect. That's another word I hate because people use it wrong, including myself. It's too easy to get caught up in that. An effect is something that happens, like when the sun warms your skin. The warmth is the effect. The fact that the sun warms your skin, it affects your skin. So that's the difference. Why they had to make two words that sounded almost alike. There's probably some kid going and messing with his parents. Now they got to change the language. Just saying. So the basic construction out to the island is done. I can work with this once I get the dirt down. It would be nice to do something like rail track causeway, but I'm not certain that I will be out there long enough to require. I might be out there long enough to make it worth putting down, getting all the iron and putting down rails. But good chance is I'm going to get it all mined out, and basically before I really could use or have the resources and then use the rails. So don't know. I'm still on the fence there. I may just do it because it will look cool in the landscape to have transportation. You got to think about the cool aspect, the aesthetic. Aesthetic is a fancy way of saying, hey, that looks cool. And it's hard to spell. Probably comes from Greek with that A-E at the front. A-E-S-T-E-C, whatever it is. I used to be way better at spelling before I got married. My wife's spelling is horrendous, and over the years, I have learned to be horrendous. Same thing with my grammar. Instinctively, my grammar was pretty good. I wasn't really good at diagramming sentences. I know I'm probably talking Greek to y'all. You even diagram sentences anymore in English? You understand what English really is? Probably not. But I used to have fairly good instinctive grammar when it came to writing, for the most part. My wife's, however, is totally horrendous, and I have to edit all her stuff. So if you've ever read a paper by my wife, it's because of me that you are able to actually read the paper. Because, damn. Get rid of the seaweed. There we go. Oh, Fubi, this is the part of the day I hate. Do you have enough time? Oh, I got up there. There was nothing in the chest. I took most of the rock, or most of the bricks and stuff out of there, though. Couldn't reach some of the dirt. Shouldn't have vines hanging, hopefully. I think I got all those. Those floating things, those floating baskets in the sky. Oh, look at, we're already getting grass. I don't think I have enough in my wand to finish this. Yeah, you don't want to do that second one. And you don't want to do the one with the cobblestone. That's just bad. It's bad. So, if you don't know what a builder's wand is, that lets you put down a certain facing of material that you have in your inventory without having to place each block individually. And it only puts down so many blocks. Now, you see, that could put down a lot, but it's not like it's going to go to the horizon necessarily. And we used up all the dirt again. Amazing. I should have enough back at the base to finish this out. I shouldn't have to take it down another level. But now I have a nice safe causeway I can walk down. I can build stuff. I can put tracks up and down, or put concrete down to make a path, or just put down a path. I ain't gonna put a path in yet because that can affect other things. But yeah, you gotta wait till you have grass before you can make a path. So here's an example. You have your shovel. You got a piece of grass. You right click it, and it makes a path. However, to do something to that path, that will not allow a lot of stuff to be set on it now because it's a tad shorter than the rest. To turn that back into grass, you have to put it down as dirt and wait for the grass to grow in. So there endeth the lesson on graph and path. Grass and paths, so you get it. Stars, I could be asleep right now. Look at all this darkness I gotta put torches in on. I need to go back and start making charcoal again. It's a never-ending cycle. There we go. What do we have going on? Let's go put the food away. So I haven't eaten the kale. Cotton, I thought we were, yes, we're putting cotton there for the time being. Let's get a little more dirt. That should be way more than enough. And take a nap. I had a couple more things I was going to talk about, but I think I've yammered your ear long enough. And I think you get the idea of how the builder's wand works and what I've got for an intention here. So I am going to wrap this up. Finish up this project, probably do some charcoaling, which you don't need to be here for. Harvest some trees. I want to get more ebony. I like using ebony for my railcraft lines. Don't ask me why. I just do. And I was lucky enough to find ebony this time. I usually can't find it. But yeah, I'll write out a few more things to jabber at you about while I'm working. You can watch me work, learn a few things, and listen to a few things. You're probably going, oh my God, why did I turn on to this channel again? Just, and we'll go explore the land, which is the land, because it's, well, land. I can see we got oil. I can see we got a meteor. Looks like we got another sky floater up there somewhere. I don't know how close that is. So we'll see. There's stuff on here. Plus we can get lots of sand. Need sand. Glass is going to become very important. And unfortunately, I do not have a pick with silk touch. Otherwise, I could get all that glass. It'll just break. So till I get to the next part, catch y'all later. Bye. Coming up, we're going to talk about building rails.